Hey everyone, I'm Mike, and today I'm going to show you how to truly check if you have a clean sensor. Today I have 3 camera bodies. My first one is a Rebel T3i. I've had it for a few years, and I don't think I've actually cleaned the sensor in probably over a year and a half. And I'm not just talking about using a duster to blow it out. I'm talking about an actual wet wipe cleaning to really get it fully done right. And I'll show you how to test for that today too. We also have a brand new camera. This came in just last week. It's a 5D Mark III right out of the box. I haven't even used it yet. So with this test, we should see a perfectly clean sensor. And I also had this camera come up from Canon. It's the 7D, and I had it repaired and cleaned and checked by Canon. So we are going to test to see how clean it really is, because again, I haven't used it, haven't even opened the body cap yet. So theoretically, it should be perfectly clean. So let's get started. So the first thing I like to do is pick a good lens. My favorite is my 100 macro. It's a prime. I choose a prime because when you have zoom lenses, you can get dust inside the lens from the physical zooming in and out. So I like to use a prime, keep it clean, make sure all of the dust is out of here. I cleaned it beforehand, so it should be pretty good. And the first camera we're going to test is the Rebel, because we know it's the dirtiest. So put it on there just like that. Now what we need next is a white area to shoot. Okay, so we're going to start with our shooting backdrop right here. In my studio, I have a white cloth here that I put up at nighttime, and during the day, it creates a nice white area to shoot against. Now I try to get it as smooth as possible so there's not a lot of texture going on. Sleep, there we go. Camera's on. I want to go to the lowest ISO possible, which is 100. And then I want my aperture to be really tiny. So, I mean, it can go all the way to 32. I like to stay around 25, just a couple back. And now we want a long shutter speed. So go to like a second or so. Now it'll vary depending on what you're trying to shoot at. The goal is to shoot with RAW and to get an almost totally white photo without clipping any of the data. So we want our histogram to be pushed all the way to the edge, but not quite all the way off. And now we're going to go ahead and shoot. Now I'm moving the camera around because now you can see it's perfectly white. We'll hit info here. My histogram is completely just blown out. It's no good. 2 seconds is probably a second too long. So what we'll do, we'll go the other way. Just 1 second. Actually, looking at the metering there, it says we're about 2/3 almost. That should be pretty good. The whole reason why we move the camera around is because anything that's here that's moving will be blurry. Any photographer knows that. So if there is dust on your sensor, it'll be perfectly still on your image, crisp and sharp, how we like it. So that, again, that's why we move around. So don't be afraid to move really fast. You know, the faster you go, the better. So let's go ahead and take another shot. Moving around, pretty white. And there we can see on our histogram, we got some data right there. And you know, while we're doing this, let's just make it one more step quicker. We're doing half a second. So now you really got to move. You know, it's a bright area. If you have, mine's lit by the sun right now, it's afternoon. If you're inside a studio, you might have a longer shutter speed and not have the clipping like I got. Every camera in setting is different. Here we go, guys, last time. And maybe one more. Okay, a lot of data. I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead, turn it off, and throw it up on the computer. Take a look. Okay, so here we are in Lightroom. I've already went ahead and imported everything. So the first one we want to go through is our T3i. So I have 4 images here, and then you can see that they all look white. They're pretty much the same, but there's a little difference between all of them. First image we got, if you look right over here, see 2 seconds, and then the histogram has nothing on it, so we really don't want that one. Go to that. We have 0.8 seconds histogram. Here shows us we have data. There's 0.5. A little more. I like it over here. So we're gonna go, and I can already tell that we have sensor dust. Let's go ahead and develop it. And what I want to do is turn the blacks all the way down. That's disgusting. And then we're gonna pull the whites all the way up, and we're gonna spread that histogram out as far as we can. And we'll boost the clarity to 100. That's pretty much all you need to do to see if you have sensor dust. Let's zoom in to 1:1 and we'll really see what we got going on here. You can kind of see some banding going on. That's just the sensor, but really there's just dust everywhere. Quite disgusting. We really want, you can mess around with your exposure and everything to see what's going on here. Darken some of your shadows up, lighten all your highlights up. Anything you do can really mess with it. Take some of the vibrance down so you really see what's going on here. Messing with the white levels. That's really bad. And you can see anything over here, this is all from using a brush or whatever to swipe the sensor. And you're really just pushing it all off to the side. So you really need to go in there using a wet system. Now let's go check the 5D Mark III because it's brand new and I want to see if there's anything on it. The 5D Mark III, right out of the box, threw the lens on there. Camera settings are the same as the T3i. Aim and fire. We'll do it one more time just in case. All right, now we're looking here, camera. Data's there at the end, pretty good. We'll make it half second. It's always good to have enough data because you don't want to repeat these steps and waste time. So you can see right here, we have plenty of space on the end right there with half a second. We have our 5D Mark III files. I'm going to do 2 files at the same time. So we're going to use the 1 second exposure as our primary. Turn auto sync on, clarity up, blacks down, whites up. That looks pretty clean. We zoom in up here. We do have one spot on here. A speck right here. That may have happened during putting a lens on. Who knows? We got another speck right here. For a brand new sensor, this is pretty dirty. Coming out of the factory, got some here along the edge. Looks like maybe they tried to clean it at the factory. But all in all, pretty good. Another spot over here on the edge. So the edges seem to be where everything's really hiding, but all in all, not bad. You guys wouldn't really notice it unless you're doing a test like this or shooting with when you're stopped down a real lot. So here we got the 7D straight out of the factory from Canon, clean, checked, and repaired. So let's test this out and see if they did a good job. Checking the frame. Yep, we got data, not too much. Okay, let's go to the computer. Okay, so here's our 7D files, and I only took 2 pictures using 0.6 of a second, histograms at the end. We're all looking good. Go ahead and develop both of those at the same time, just for whatever reason. Clarity up, blacks down, and let's boost those whites a little bit. Here we go. Zoom in. I see specks. Now there's a lot more noise in this one. Must be the sensor. Really noisy up here. Could also be the image from where we shot, but as you can see, it's back from the factory. There's dust all over the place. Not 100. This one's really sharp right here. Not totally clean. Not what I was expecting from Canon. So there you have it. We did a sensor test on 3 different cameras, a brand new one, an old one who hasn't been cleaned in a while, and one right back from Canon. Here we go. These are the results. And they speak for themselves. Check your cameras, clean your cameras. See you next time.